Hey vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records, and it's time for my May 2023 vinyl haul. Some new releases, some cool vinyl pickups, some new pressings, and of course Japanese stuff as well. So let's go ahead and get to it. If you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoy this video. Hit the subscribe button if you like it, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment below, because I love talking to the vinyl community. So let's get going. We're going to start with some, well, new releases mostly, but the first one I want to show you, I mentioned a record store day. I did get a couple things late that came in. There's a bunch of stores getting stuff in that was record store day, and there was extra left over. So this is one of them. I picked up the Dio Live. This is live in Fresno, 1983. Excellent pressing on red vinyl. Sounds really good. Enjoyed thoroughly this one. So another record store day purchase to add to my record store day total. I believe I picked up 12 albums in all from record store day, which I think is insane. All right, first up, new releases. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 soundtrack is now out. I haven't even listened to this one yet. I'm waiting for a time when the whole family's around, because we all enjoy the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracks. So that's kind of what I'm waiting to listen to this one on. Black vinyl, standard, gatefold. Real excited for that one. Next up, I was pumped about this. This one came out of nowhere. I had no idea that this was even going to be around. But Samantha Fish, amazing blues guitar player, amazing vocalist, good songwriter. And she teamed up with Jesse Dayton to record Death Wish Blues. This is really good, fantastic stuff. If you're into the blues, I highly recommend giving Samantha Fish a try, and I do recommend this album. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Black standard vinyl, really good surprise, I think, on that one. Next up, the new album from Ed Sheeran. He kind of went the plus, multiply, divide, and skipped over the minus and went right to equals, but now we get minus here. So the math equations are now in Ed Sheeran's newest album, Subtract. This is the, I believe, indie exclusive vinyl. Yeah, indie exclusive white vinyl. I think it's a fantastic album. I really enjoy his stuff. And this one, really, I enjoyed it more than his last couple. All right, next up, love this artist. Kip Moore, Damn Love. His latest album, fantastic dual album, and really enjoyed it quite a bit. Love Kip Moore. I really wish that they would press his very first album on vinyl. I believe they've pressed everything else he's done to vinyl, but not that first one. So it'd be nice to see that come out in the future. This is one that I was really looking forward to listening to. I was just curious of how it was going to be, and it exceeded my expectations in many ways. This is Def Leppard, and this is the with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, Drastic Symphonies it's called. They took a bunch of their songs. Some of them are reimagined. Some of them are basically the same, but with orchestration behind them. And I really enjoyed this album quite a bit. It comes on this kind of a light blue, clear, gray, silver. I'm not sure what it is exactly. Vinyl, let's see. It doesn't really tell me. A clear vinyl, it says. I think it's fantastic. If you're a Def Leppard fan, this is a really fun listen. Enjoyed it quite thoroughly. Kind of some weird takes on things like Pour Some Sugar on Me, but also some really good versions of songs. God of Thunder stands out to me. I thought that sounded fantastic with the orchestra behind it. And last but not least, on the new releases, Smashing Pumpkins dropped this massive release. It's 4 LPs in a really interesting kind of booklet cover. Autumn, it's called. It is supposed to be the follow-up from Melancholy to Machina to now Autumn. They're all supposed to somehow be tied together as far as the content goes. But it's a rock opera. I've listened to it once all the way through. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to listening to it again. It's one of those where you really do have to sit down and devote some time to listening to it because it is quite long. And if you want to get it in all, you could do it, I suppose, in the different acts that they have. So you could listen to Act 1 first, move to Act 2, and then finish with Act 3 another time. I guess that's one way to do it. But a really interesting way to package it. Now, I don't know how to store this because you really can't sleeve it in any way. Maybe a box set sleeve or something like that, but I don't know. This is the indie exclusive version, and really the only thing that the indie exclusive version came with was a bunch of like flats in here. So for instance, here's one, a little flat art that they did. That was really the only difference between the regular and the indie exclusive that I know of anyway. Black vinyl. Sounds really good. Smashing Pumpkins, Autumn. Alright, next up we're going to do some new pressings and some used vinyl that I found. We'll start with Eric Church, Caught in the Act. This is one of the Eric Church albums I didn't have in my collection, and I've been trying to find, but it's been out of print for a while. This is the 4th pressing, and it comes on this nice yellow vinyl, and it's great. They did a good job recording this live album, and it sounds awesome, and I really enjoyed listening to this live album from Eric Church. Next up, I am, like I said before, part of the Dolly Parton Vinyl Me Dolly Club, or Vinyl Me Parton Club, and they're releasing a bunch of Dolly albums that have never had a vinyl pressing, or some of her classic stuff as well. The first one, of course, was My Tennessee Mountain Home. I had an early pressing of that before, but the Vinyl Me Please pressing sounds absolutely stellar. This one, I was one of them that I was really looking forward to because it has not been on vinyl before. This is Little Sparrow from Dolly Parton. Sounds absolutely fantastic. Comes on this nice purple colored vinyl. And she calls this one Lavender Galaxy vinyl. So just awesome. I'm loving the pressing so far. 2 in. The 3rd one should be arriving this week, and looking forward to that. But yes, Dolly Parton from Vinyl Me Please. Next up, this is one that I saw at Target. It's been out for a while, but I've never picked it up. But it was on clearance for like $7, so I decided to take a chance and get it. This is Creedence Clearwater Revival live at Royal Albert Hall. Comes on this nice, cool green marble-ish vinyl. Really, another fantastically recorded live album, and the pressing sounds great. So for $7, this was awesome. All the big hits on this one from Creedence. Really enjoyed picking that up. This one is the one I had a copy of in the past. I had the Record Store Day version of this album and decided to get rid of it because I just didn't listen to the extras on it before. And I knew that this version was out there, and I could just pick this version up because really all I wanted was the album itself. And I know that a lot of people who are real big fans of this band wanted the extra sessions and things like that that came with the Record Store Day. So I ended up selling that one, and then I picked up this one. This is the music on vinyl version of Blind Melon's album with No Rain, the big hit off of this one. This is a really good album. But like I said, I didn't need the Record Store Day version because I just didn't listen to the, so I believe it was the Soak the Sun sessions or something like that. I never really paid attention. I would always just spin the album and then put it away. So I sent that on to someone who is going to appreciate that a little more than me, and I'm happy with the music on vinyl pressing. All right, next up, this is one that I just see posted all the time in the vinyl community, and I know the hit song off of this one, and that's about it. It's a band I never really listened to very much in the past other than what was on the radio, and so I decided to give it a shot and really enjoyed this. This is the Cult's Sonic Temple, iconic cover here. Everybody knows this album, at least by the cover, maybe not necessarily by the music, but this is the 30th anniversary reissue, double LP, and sounds really good. I don't have anything to compare it to, so I don't know if it sounds as good. There's mixed reviews. Some people say it sounds better than the original. Other people say the original sounds better. You know how it goes in the vinyl community. People can never agree. But I think this sounds fantastic. It's a really cool piece and was happy to get it. I've been told the next one to get is electric. So I will be looking for a copy of that. Maybe next month I will be showing the electric from the Cult. These next two albums are albums that I found in a bargain bin. At least one of these albums should probably never have been in a bargain bin. And I'll show it to you here. And I'll tell you why. These were part of a big sale for the VIP members at my local record store down in the valley. And these were what they call scratch and dent. Just a little too many marks on them to be on their main floor, and so they get put into these bins, and all the big sales, they put them out front. And so the first one is Buckingham Nicks. This is the repress that is on the gatefold. Okay, red polydor label. This is an album I never have heard before, but I know it's highly sought after in the vinyl community. And when I saw it there, it was $9. And I saw it there and I thought, $9? This thing commands a lot more money than that. So I picked it up. Now, it has some scratches on the cover, not in the greatest shape. And the album itself definitely has marks and scratches, you know, hairlines and things like that. But I tell you what, I put this through the ultrasonic cleaner, and I mean, it sounds really good. So I think I got away with a pretty good steal on this one, especially at $9. And it's a good album. You know, I'm not as big a fan of the Buckingham Nicks era of Fleetwood Mac as I am the blues era of Fleetwood Mac. But I do enjoy the Buckingham Nicks era as well. And this fits right into that catalog. This sounds like the Buckingham Nicks Fleetwood Mac that we all know. And yeah, good album. And really enjoyed it. Definitely a steal on that. The other one I picked up is one of those albums in the Pink Floyd catalog that people either like or don't like. I personally am a David Gilmour Pink Floyd guy. I like his stuff more so than even some of the classic stuff. And, you know, that's just my personal opinion. I didn't grow up on Pink Floyd. I never really got into them until I became a vinyl collector. So, but I saw this and thought this was $3. I figured I'd pick it up. This is the final cut. Most people would like to call this The Wall Part 2. Leftovers from The Wall is a complete Roger Waters album. He wrote every song on here, and a lot of people like to call it his first solo album. Gilmour, though, I think shines on this album. I think his guitar licks on here and his solos are absolutely fantastic. And as much as he probably didn't want to be part of the recording of this, I think he did an absolutely fantastic job. This is definitely not my favorite Pink Floyd album. I didn't hate it, and I didn't love it. I can give or take Roger Waters most of the time, but happy to add this for $3 into my catalog. Again, a little more scratches on the album than people would like to see, but cleaned up really well and sounds absolutely fantastic. Next up, I picked up a copy of Tracy Chapman's Crossroads album, one that I didn't have in my collection. I see it all the time. I got a steal on it. It was dirt cheap from a friend I know who was just trying to get rid of some of his excess vinyl that he doesn't need anymore. So I grabbed it from him. It's in pristine shape, just beautiful, sounds fantastic. Her production on her albums is just stellar, and no difference here. I don't know if there was ever a hit off of this one to be... I don't know if there ever was, but it is a good album. I like Tracy Chapman's stuff. I think she's a fantastic artist. Would love to find New Beginnings on vinyl. I don't know if that ever got put out on vinyl or not, but that would be a nice one to get as well. Okay, lastly, we got Japanese vinyl. Everybody knows who's been watching my channel for the last 6, 7, 8, 9 months or whatever, that I've been buying a lot of Japanese vinyl. I found some really good sources who directly import from Japan, and for the most part you get really good deals on them, I think, compared to what I see them for online and other places. And I picked up quite a few things, and I'm really excited about it. Up first, and I'll show this one because it was a surprise to me, it doesn't have the Obi strip, but I've been looking for this for quite a while because I don't have this solo album from Kiss. I'm looking for Paul Stanley's solo album. I have Gene and I have Ace. I have no desire to listen to Peter Criss, so I don't bother getting that. If I saw it for a couple bucks, I might pick it up just to put it in the collection, but this was the one I was really after. One of my sellers that I purchased Japanese for also sells a bunch of non-Japanese stuff, and this was in the pile, and so I asked him about it, and he told me, you know, it has a split up the top on the album cover itself, which can't play the cover, so I don't care, and it's a clean split, so it doesn't really, it's not noticeable, and it doesn't bother me at all. So he sold it to me for 20 bucks, and I was like, okay, 20 bucks. You can get a new one for, you know, 25, but they're not in the stores right now. It's not in print right now. So I said, yes, I'll grab that. I got it home, I plugged it in, and I found out that this is a Japanese pressing. Sounds absolutely fantastic. The vinyl's in beautiful condition, and so I think I stole this one from him, to be honest, because these solo albums from Kiss usually are over $100 a piece for them, for Japanese pressings. And even though this doesn't have the Obi strip, it's still probably command about $70 or $80 for it. So I am happy to have taken that off his hands. Some other Japanese pressings that I picked up. I grabbed Loverboy, Get Lucky. Of course, this is the album with Working for the Weekend on it. And yeah, pristine, of course, condition, beautiful, and happy to add that to the collection. Allman Brothers, Win, Lose, or Draw. I picked that one up. I had a copy of the Allman Brothers American pressing here, right here. And, you know, it was okay. This one is actually in pretty good shape. But this one came up for just dirt cheap. And I figured I might as well grab it to put in my Allman Brothers Japanese collection. Not a band I'm going to go out after everything for, but if I find a good price, I'm going to jump on it. And this was a good price, so happy to add that to the collection. Next up, Prince's Purple Rain. Prince's Japanese stuff usually goes for a pretty penny, and so I haven't really sought after much of the Japanese pressings from Prince, but this came up and the price was in the range that I thought was fair, and it's a classic Prince album. So Japanese pressing, Prince, Purple Rain, super pumped to have that. And then also this one in the same auction came up. This is All Around the World from Prince, and of course Raspberry Beret, Pop Life are the big hits on this one. And one of my gem favorites from him, Paisley Park, is on this as well. And so happy to have picked this up. It's in pretty darn good shape, especially considering that everybody knows that little flap that they have on this one usually comes wrecked. Not so bad in this one. And really cool Obi strip. Next up, been trying to finish it off. I finally did. We're talking about my Japanese Kiss catalog. Here is the debut album from Kiss. This is a reissue, I believe from 75 or 76. I can't remember the exact year, but sounds fantastic, and super pumped to have found the first album from Kiss, as well as Dress to Kill. Awesome to have found this one. Got a really good deal on this, I think, and super pumped to add that to the collection. And finishing off my Japanese Kiss was the original Alive, Kiss Alive. This is the one that broke the band. This is the one that made the band. After 3 albums with very minimal success, they put this live album out there. Everybody went nuts for it, and the rest is history. Kiss became the Kiss we know now. Super pumped to have this on vinyl, Japanese pressing. Super excited to compare that to my 2014 reissue copy that I had. The last 2 albums are what I would consider a big grail and a little grail as far as trying to get these. The first one is not as hard to get, but commands a good price, and that is Aerosmith's Permanent Vacation Japanese pressing. Now this is part of the 1997 Aerosmith reissue campaign, which they put out everything from the later era of Aerosmith that really got them big, right? Starting with Permanent Vacation, Pump, I think Big Ones came out again on that one, and Get a Grip. Those 4 albums were put out in this 1997 reissue campaign in Japanese pressings, and that's what this is. And it sounds absolutely fantastic. This one's in almost near mint condition. It's beautiful. The guy I bought it from had been working for months on trying to get the guy who owned them to sell them as a bulk unit, and he finally got them, and I picked this one up. I didn't get any of the other ones, but I did get that one. Last but certainly not least, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. Absolutely fantastic album. Sounds really good. I compared it to my 2 LP version that came out, I believe, in 2018. Don't quote me on that. And they sound both really, really good. This is an OG pressing. This one is, I would say, on the low end of a VG Plus for the vinyl. Definite VG Plus on the cover. There are some hairlines on here, and there's a little bit of noise, but a lot of it got cleaned up when I did the ultrasonic. I bet you if I put it through another one, it would clean a lot more of it up. During the music, sounds fantastic. Can't really hear a whole lot, but I got a good price on this. This one usually sells for over $200, and I got it for half of that. So super pumped about it. Super pumped. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. That's it. That's my Grail pickup of the month. And there you have it. That is my vinyl haul for May of 2023. I hope you liked the video. I hope you found some cool stuff in there. Let me know what your favorites are from that stack of vinyl. And leave a comment below. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Love to have you along for the ride. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, keep spinning vinyl, friends.